often should I feed my fish? How much food should I use? What kind of food is best for my fish? We're gonna talk about all that and much more in today's video, all about feeding your fish.
Okay, let's go.
If you just started in this hobby, I can already tell you 100% you are overfeeding your fish.
What?
You're gonna take the times that you feed them and how much food you're feeding them and just cut it in half. Yeah, half. There's a lot of different brands out there. There's a lot of different food out there. We want to make sure we're feeding them the best possible food that we can buy. At the end of the day, these are pets, you know, they become like family. If you go to the pet store and see anything with this logo, stay away from it. This food is nothing but poison to your fish. There's only one brand that I trust to feed my fish, and this video is not sponsored by them at all. This is just what I like to feed my fish personally. You can read it, Hikari. They got the bangers. Basically, there's 3 different types of fish food out there. You got your live, your frozen, and then your dry food. You're gonna wanna decide which one of these 3 you want for your fish. If you're able to sustain feeding your fish live food all the time, then that's perfectly fine. But most people are gonna stick to the other 2, either frozen or dry food. If you're buying dry fish food, then you're gonna wanna make sure you get some high quality stuff, you know? Look in the back and read the ingredients. What are you actually giving to your fish here? So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you what I like to feed my fish and how I feel about the food, and then you can go ahead and make your own decision afterwards, all right? Now, as you can see, I got quite a bit of fish food here in front of me. So let's take a look at what each of these look like and how you should be using them for your tank. All right, we're gonna get straight into it. Let's see what this food looks like and if it's right for your fish. We got the large pellets, pretty freaking big.
That's what she said.
So let's see what the difference is between the mini and the large. As you can see here, you got the big and you got the mini. Most fish are gonna be able to eat this. Not every fish is gonna be able to eat this big old pellet right here. And then last but not least, we got the algae wafers. Like this, it's just crushed up algae. They love to eat all this stuff. So this is the new packaging that they got. I mean, I think it's a great update. As you can see, this is what the old packaging looked like right here. They had nothing in the bag, just like a good old sticker. Now they got all this like beautiful coloring on it, a lot of information in the bag. You know, just a night and day difference. There we go, we got a nice big old chunk of this. It's gonna be about the size of your pinky nail. And that's gonna be it. We're gonna put that in our glass. And there you go. You got yourself some frozen bloodworms. First things first, we're gonna go ahead and drop the bloodworms in because I know they love it. Look at these Oscars going crazy for them worms. And then you got the Pacu coming in hot right behind him for the algae wafers. Yep, there he goes. He'll stack a couple of them in there, man. And the Oscars like them too. Damn it, they keep losing them. Now this combination of bloodworms and algae wafers is what I found to work best for my fish. And again, these are tiger Oscars and a red belly Pacu. As you can see, the Oscar, he likes to put the wafers in there and just kind of stuff them down one by one while the Pacu plays around and juggles them. So I like to mix it up. Some days I'll throw the pellets in instead of the worms or the wafers and just feed them off straight pellets. Maintaining that variety is going to keep your fish guessing and make sure that they're always ready to eat when you show up. You need to understand that the more food that you're feeding is the more waste the fish is going to produce. More waste, quality of your water will quickly deteriorate, and so will the health of your fish. So in order to avoid this, what we're gonna do is just feed our fish one time a day. You know, unless you're keeping something crazy like a stingray or a big monster fish or something, one time a day is just fine for your fish. Throw the food over the tank and see how long it takes for that food to sit at the bottom of the tank. If you're doing this correctly, your food should not be sitting in your tank for longer than 60 seconds, 1 minute. If after that 1 minute, your fish are not eating the food, you have fed them too much.
It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay?
You have excess food in your tank that's going to deteriorate and waste in your tank, causing more detritus and more bacteria. If your tank water is really cloudy, or it's like a greenish color, or there's just like a weird smell coming from your tank, 9 times out of 10, you have a bacterial bloom caused by overfeeding. So just to recap, feed your fish one time a day. If the food stays in there longer than 60 seconds, dial it back. You fed them too much. This is how you'll develop your proper feeding technique for your fish in your tank specifically. Now guys, I do understand that all fish are built the same.
You need to have muscles.
You need to have muscles on your muscles.
Some fish are gonna eat more than others. This is why you need to pay attention to your fish and make that call and that judgment on your own of how much you should be feeding your fish. That being said, I guarantee that for 99% of the people out there, 1 time a day is plenty. Now, we just got done looking at all these different types of fish food. How do you know which one is best for you? What I like to use is frozen fish food. I like to feed my fish frozen bloodworms at least once a day. If you really care about your fish, then you're gonna go through a trial and error process of giving them different kinds of foods and seeing which ones they really like. Nobody likes to eat the same thing every day, including your fish. Mix it up a little bit. Some days give them some frozen, some days some dry. Maybe you include some live food in there as well. In reality, a variety is always gonna be the best because you're giving them a little bit of everything. As long as you're staying away from, you're good to go. Now, I have heard that it is good practice to take 1 day of the week and just use it as a fasting day where you don't feed your fish at all. Now, this is gonna help clear up any stuck food in their system, constipation, any kind of waste that's in their body still that hasn't made its way out will make its way out during that fasting period. So pick 1 day out of the week where you just don't feed your fish at all, and you will see that they're perfectly fine. These fish can go days without eating. Having that 1 day of just like a buffer between meals will let them clear out and detox their body. Like I said, there's different opinions on this topic. I've had great success with it, and I'd be dumb not to recommend it to you too. Do some research. Type up your breed of fish, what you have. Type it up on Google. Ask some questions. See if there's anybody else on YouTube like I am talking about it. Guys, it's not rocket science. I know that may sound shocking to you, but you got to understand that when you're first starting off, you want to interact with your fish so much that you end up feeding them 2, 3, 4 times a day. That is going to do nothing but deteriorate the health of your fish.